Welcome back to the pod you're looking for. I'm Josh. This is Sam. Dude, another episode, man. Episode 35. Wonder Man just came out. We've got some good news to talk about. Beatles castings just happened.
Dude, this is huge.
Even prepped a little game for you today. So
Did you
a
really?
little special game.
Wow.
So new debut.
Little surprise game?
Little surprise
Okay.
coming from the sky, dude. So
Okay.
Yeah, but dude, what do you want to get into first? You want to start with these Beatles castings?
Yeah, honestly, I say we go right into Galactic Transmissions. We talk about the Beatles
The
here.
week was good?
This is, you know what?
Yeah,
I'd say
talk about this.
it was pretty good. I'd say
really?
it was pretty good.
Okay.
It was one of those weeks you just kind of, I don't want to say coast through, because that implies a lack of effort. But you kind of just like you're trying to get through it. I don't know. Do you ever have this thing? I will say, you ever have this thing where your week is kind of going all right and you're kind of in a good mood, and then somebody like tells you they want you to be somewhere, but like the thing is like 3 weeks off, but it's like now that thing that you don't want to be at just dominates your mind for the next 3 weeks. You're like let me just get through the next 3 weeks now so that I can get this freaking thing behind me.
I get that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I get that, dude.
I can't do it.
Yes.
I can't do it.
Yep. It's almost why sometimes with those things you want to know like the night before, even as much as you don't,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not even like a thing you have to worry about.
That's exactly it. I have this
That's
thing.
frustrating, dude.
Yeah, and it's nothing
Is this
against
work or what?
Yeah, it's a little
Okay,
work thing.
okay.
It's kind of it's like a social thing. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I like my work team like in the office.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a big bar guy. I'm not a big like what I don't drink. So it's like whenever it's like an outing, like a team outing. Oh, we're going.
Right.
It's
Group bonding.
Yes, I just kind of check out a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, man, I don't know. I got stuff to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of so. But now I have 3 weeks of looking forward to a pickleball retreat.
Oh. Wow, so you're going away?
Mandatory pickleball.
So are you going away for this?
No, it's like a 1-day thing, but
Okay.
I just,
Yeah, but it's still an all-day
I
thing,
can't play. You know what I'm saying? I
can't?
don't know how to. Well,
You're good at pickleball. I've played with you
I'm
before.
passive. I'm
Stop.
passively okay. I'm drive by. I'm drive by okay.
Okay.
If you were to drive by me in a park watching me play pickleball, you'd be like, he knows what he's doing. But if you were to stop for even a half second, you'd be like, oh, he has no clue. You'd watch the ball roll off the thing, and I'm running over, my pants are falling down.
It's no running back, Sam. That's that's where you turn into an animal. I'll tell you what. I've seen it
You're talking
firsthand.
about a little two-hand touch?
Yeah, a little two-hand touch.
The old two-hand touch.
Two-hand touch and a little skosh.
We're still talking about pickleball?
No. It's talking football.
Yeah. I grew up big
That's right.
football
Yeah.
guy. At least this big.
At least-
I grew up a big football guy. my dad and I used to play. We used to get some friends together and play like two-hand touch flag football or whatever. And I always,
there you
dude,
go.
I grew up loving like Frank Gore and Frank Gore was my
Yeah.
guy on the 49ers. A couple different guys and who was the dude? Antonio Gates. He was a tight end on the Chargers, and he was just a mean dude. He would just run through people. Like every touchdown play he has, if you look back on YouTube, it's just like him running over some guy, some helpless guy. It's like the pads don't even work. And so whenever we'd play football growing up, I would always like be like, I'd always be, give me the running back role. I don't even care if I get the ball 3 times. I want one play where I get a chance to run through somebody.
Well, you're a dense dude. Like those quads don't lie, man.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
If there's something that makes me think, it's that.
Well, let me tell you something. I was at the gym, and you know how it's like, I don't know if you feel this when you go into the gym, you're like there for yourself and nobody else. You're there to just get your workout done and leave.
Yep.
But I feel like there's like this weird thing, especially because we go to the Planet Fitness.
Right.
We don't go to like
We're
one of those like
bottom feeders.
Yeah,
Yes.
we don't go to a homegrown gym. We go to like
No.
one of those like it's like
Commercial, yeah.
Yeah, corporate gym. And there's this thing where it's like you're working out, and I know it's like at the end of the day everybody has the same mirrors they're looking at, everybody has the same stuff they're working out at, but I feel like every now and then there's just like 1 or 2 people every time I'm working out that just like is like they catch a glance at me, and I just feel like they're like, I feel like it's that weird thing. There's like this one dude that like his head just looks like it's about to pop, dude. He's just like
I know what you're
roided out of
talking
his
about,
mind.
yes.
He looks like Gollum on roids. And he goes with his wife.
The veins are like absolutely.
Dude, it's crazy.
Yes.
It's like he. I've never seen him say a word to anybody, but I almost don't want him to because I feel like if he opens his mouth, blood is just going to come spraying out of his mouth. But he has this thing where it's like he looks at you funny.
Yeah.
If you get within 10 feet of him, and it's almost like he's like claiming the space. I remember one time he had claimed like 4 machines, and I just was like,
Dude,
I was trying to
they
get in.
just rotate.
He hadn't even been on it in 10 minutes, and he was like, and he gestured, and he had put his sunglasses down in front of the thing. I was like, oh, okay, my bad. But so I feel like there's that whole thing where it's like you're standing there and you're like weirded out because you feel like people are like judging you or something. You're just trying to work out and do your own thing, and it like makes you like micromanage yourself or whatever, or go about your workout a different way. But I'll tell you what. I grew up, I was doing track and field for I did track and field for 8-9 years growing up. It was like the thing. My sisters and I did it for years and years and years, and I did a lot of long distance stuff. And so I honestly don't do leg stuff.
Yeah.
But I have this weirdly proportionate body now where I have these weirdly conditioned legs and nothing else. So it's so I had this one guy,
I will swear by this, yeah.
I had this one guy come up to me recently, and he was like, "Yo, what's your routine?" And I was like, "Are you serious?" And I thought he was playing. He was like, "No." He was like, "Dude, your legs." He was like, "Crazy."
Wow,
and I was
dude.
like, "Are you serious right now?" And I dapped him up, and it was quite the thing.
Wow,
you have
dude.
a little skip in your step. All of a sudden,
Yeah, dude.
All of a sudden, the Hulk guy is looking at you, and you're looking right back. You're like, "What's up? What's up?
What you want? You want these? You want these?
So it's yeah. But hey, it kind of
Nice.
boosts
I'm
you
glad
up.
they're getting their respect, man. Those babies need to see the light of day more.
Yeah, one of these episodes, my legs are just gonna be propped up.
Yeah, episode 35. Sam's
Wow.
legs are out.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was well, I was at American Eagle the other day, and my fiance likes to get these holiday themed. Every season, American Eagle comes out with these holiday themed Snoopy pajamas.
Yes.
There were
Yep.
Thanksgiving, then there was Christmas.
Instant money farm.
Now oh my gosh, now it's Valentine's Day. So she's at American Eagle with me. We're at the outlets the other day, and she gets these Snoopy pajamas. They're very cute. They're very cute. But corresponding to that were these male satin
Oh, no.
Snoopy boxers, and they were short shorts.
You did not.
Don't bend over type. And we took them. We had to take them home.
Oh,
We had to take them home. I got it as a joke. I got it as a joke. But now I'm staring at them, and I'm getting compliments about my legs, and I'm like, you know what? I might have to rip out the Snoopy linen satin.
wow. Do I
Situation.
get a first look?
You may, hey, yeah.
Wow.
We'll have to record how the dad reacts to his daughter in the bridal gown in every wedding. I'm gonna have to get something
Yeah.
you turn around and I'm just standing there with my hands on my hips.
Oh, dude.
But enough about me and my satin covered legs.
With
How
hearing
was
about
your
that,
week? Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Movies. Movies.
No, you can't just make me talk about my legs for 10 minutes. You gotta give me something. Any highlight?
It was good.
Anything going on?
Highlight of the week.
You were telling me something funny about you feel the podcast is getting enough exposure that you're worried about people at school discovering.
Yeah, well, I just think
Do you
it'd be
wanna touch on
hilarious.
that or no?
I think it'd be hilarious. We watch all these videos on YouTube all the time where it's instructional videos, and you and I, it's more so not that they would see what we're doing. It's things like the thumbnails, which you and I will talk on. Is one of the funniest things that we do. How you and I, if people look at the thumbnails on our YouTube videos at all, I don't know if you're a Spotify listener or what, but we have the most over-the-top reactions to everything, and things that never happen in the episode.
No, that's the thing. A lot of people, the Escape Pod boys or the Parking Lot Takes, they'll take screenshots of themselves in the podcast. And they'll just Photoshop it and put it in. Yeah, we finish and then we turn to the camera and we go.
And it's the funniest thing ever.
Yes,
so
yeah.
my thought is one of these days they're gonna be like, all right, this is how you do this kind of maneuver for your shoulder. It's gonna pull up video, and immediately it's just gonna be on the side like you and me, just flipping out. Or you and I, in our my witch costume, and you in your Nemo thing.
Oh my
there's gonna
gosh,
be some
dude.
crazy.
If that ever
thing.
happens, please.
It would be hilarious.
Please
it would
let me know.
actually be the best thing ever. But
That's
at the
so
same
funny.
time, trying to be in a field where you're trying to be a little more professional.
Yeah, you gotta be
It's just
prestigious.
hilarious that would be the case. So
Break it back down.
Yeah.
Back down to square one.
Yeah, dude. A highlight of the week, though, dude, for me was the engagement we got this week, just from people kind of reaching out about the podcast, but also just sharing your takes on stuff was awesome.
Yeah,
it
dude,
was
I'll tell you
really
what.
cool,
Yeah,
and
it was very
really
cool.
drove me this week.
But you were saying something, about the engagement, about how cool, something about knowing us by name or something. You want to touch on that?
dude,
Because I agree.
so sick.
It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's trippy.
We've had a lot of people commenting on our stuff, DMing us, just things about our takes, but also just kind of love for the show, which is awesome. So
Yeah.
appreciate every single person that has listened or does listen actively. And we would love to hear anything anyone's got to say about anything. That stuff makes my week. So anytime people reach out about anything, love that.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude. But we got a lot of people reaching out and kind of saying they agree with yours or my takes.
Josh's take is great there.
Which
Yeah,
is so
yeah,
cool
it's
because
awesome.
it's not often outside of the beginning of the episode that we really name drop ourselves too much. So
right,
it's just
dude.
very cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was a motivation for me this week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but it was a fine
That's
week.
cool.
Yeah, it was
On the
fine.
way up. We're on the way up.
On the way. On the
road
way.
to
and-
1,000.
and not even
Come
fourth
on.
of the way there.
Well, I'll tell you what. What's the phrase? He's at the top and he's only halfway up.
That's what I was trying to do.
He's at the tippy top and he's only halfway up.
That's what I was trying to go for.
Well, we're on the threshold, the cusp, if you will. We're a skosh. We're just a smidge, a skosh away from 3 million overall views across all platforms.
Crazy.
Dude, crazy.
That's crazy.
Dude.
If I could ask one personal request too, anybody that has an Instagram or could make one, dude, we got to get that to 1K.
Yeah.
That's been killing me, dude. We've been stuck around there for a little bit.
Well, they always say, it's like how they say, like, your first million is the hardest to make, and then once you make a million, like, you're off to the races if you can, like, make a habit out of making money. Like, it's apparently people say it's, like, the hardest thing ever to get to 1,000 followers on any platform, and then once you do, it's kind of like, it just goes from there.
Yeah.
Because people see you have that many, and they just kind of, whatever.
Yep.
So
it's
all technical.
It's like
but
proof of concept a little bit. Yeah.
It's all technical, but that's our goal. So, hey, yeah, if you know of anybody that would enjoy, a podcast
your
of this
sister,
nature,
your brother, your mother,
hey, get them all in. Get them all in. Get them all in. That's funny. Yeah, what do we got for movie news, though? We got quite a few things.
We do. I think the biggest thing that we got was, dude, and I would love for you to really kind of give me your thoughts on this, because I know you're a lot more dialed in with this.
Oh.
We got the castings for the Beatles.
Dude.
Which, just in quick glance, I mean, looks like they nailed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what did you think? I mean, we got, just to say it was Harris Dickinson as John Lennon, Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, Barry Keoghan as Ringo, Joseph Quinn as George.
Yeah. I'll be honest, because they released a photo like 7 months ago of like the four of them together.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself that I couldn't picture a single one of them as the person they're playing.
Yeah.
And props to the prosthetic team, because like Barry Keoghan disappears in the role. Like, he looks completely different. Same with Mescal. They both look exactly like the people they're playing. I'll say Harris Dickinson as John Lennon. It's a little bit tricky because his portrait that was released is the hardest to kind of make out. It's like from the side and it's kind of down at an angle.
Yep.
So you can't really see. Now the key with Lennon is the eyes. If you can get the eyes, I think you can really sell the character, because he has these like really thoughtful eyes. And in that regard, I think they picked a perfect actor for it. But that'll be probably the most interesting casting for me to see. But and then I'll be honest, Joseph Quinn, I see other people saying it. I kind of agree. Joseph Quinn is the one that kind of looks the least like the person he's playing. He just kind of looks like Joseph Quinn. He looks like Eddie Munson with a beard. So yeah. I'm a little like, okay. I mean, couldn't have picked a more up and coming, fantastic, actor. Like, I'm sure he'll knock it out of the park from a performance standpoint. But I wonder if it'll be kind of a situation like Taron Egerton as Elton John, where it's a knockout Oscar-worthy performance, but also you're like
slightly distracted by
they kind of look like distant cousins.
Yes.
They don't look like identical. Yeah. So I'm intrigued.
Which it really does matter. I don't want to say, I know it's obvious, but it matters a lot more than you think in a way too. It really does.
Well, this type of biopic, very much. It's making a biopic about Barack Obama as opposed to about Truman.
Yes.
It's like you're really like you're offending a lot of people if you don't get this right,
because they're so expressive. Yes, and it's such a big part of what makes the Beatles the Beatles.
So culture defining. Even today, there's such an enormous wave of people that are going to be quite upset if you don't, if it's a good performance with like no kind of, I don't know, if you take it in more of like we'll just squint and imagine they're the Beatles, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you really have to knock it out of the park. Now I think that the concept of doing 4 standalone biopics and then having them all come together is like really fascinating.
It is.
I've
Do you
never
think there's
seen
an overdoing of it or no?
Can I say from a financial standpoint, I think it's a disaster of an idea. Okay. I think it's like the worst way you could go about it, because and apparently the biopics are all like being shot at the same time and they're all expected to release in pretty close proximity with one another. Like, this is not going to be a 5-year ordeal. No. Because they want them all to like look the right age. I think financially it's a very shaky idea. Like, I think the McCartney and the Lennon biopics will freaking rock, and then the Ringo and George Harrison ones could flop. And I don't say that judging them as artists in any sort of way. I'm saying just the ones that have had the most pull outside of the Beatles, will attract the largest audience.
Naturally.
Objectively. I just think people won't go to the theater 5 times. The casual viewer won't. But I think from a biopic standpoint, in terms of redefining a subgenre of film that has in recent years suffered from a kind of oversaturation in this entertainment medium. I think that this is a very creative way to kind of go about it, and I can't think of many bands where that would work. But this is very much the one. This is the one. You know?
I
just think it's a fascinating concept, and we will be seated because we're very curious.
Right,
but I just
course.
think for the casual viewer, you're not going to come back 5 times to the theaters for all 5 Beatles biopics. You're going to say, well, let me just, I know the
Pick
stories.
the ones
let me just
you
wait.
want to.
Yeah, maybe I'll go see Paul McCartney, and then I'll go see the Beatles when they all come together.
If they're especially that close.
Right,
I
exactly.
do worry a little bit with the biopic thing, kind of going forward, and I know you've got the Beatles that you're doing, you've got Michael Jackson you're doing, right? I mean, that's pretty much taking some of the biggest heavy hitters you could do. I'm a little worried how that translates for going forward. I just wonder how much more you can keep redoing the same thing if it's not spaced properly.
Well, you're running out of artists that have that much pull.
Yes, I think that's what I'm saying, too. Yeah, you're doing it a lot, and then you're taking the biggest people that could draw you in.
Right.
I wonder how much left there is in the tank.
There's not.
You know what I mean?
There's not. I think it was a genre that even from its inception or conception was always going to be limited. Because at a certain point. Now, let me propose this hypothetical.
Okay.
Say the Beatles movie comes out and there's some reference to like Elvis and Austin Butler as Elvis appears. And it's like there's like a continuity thing where suddenly it's like the biopic people are just kind of in this shared biopic universe.
Does that BCU?
The BCU. Does that change anything to you? Because I feel like that's an interesting way they could do it, is where you create a sense of continuity where it's like these portrayals are not limited by their single movies. They could reappear as their artists throughout their lives. So then 40 years down the 10 years down the road, when you do the U2 biopic and you have, you're in the 80s or 90s, you could have like the older versions of Paul McCartney pop in. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be
and
interesting.
you could have like an older, aged up Paul Mescal as Paul McCartney, just as like the older. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would you be seated for that, or do you think that's kind of dragging it a little bit?
I think it's dragging it a little bit. Yeah, but I do think you have a good idea though. That's interesting. It'd be kind of funny to have like a little like, I don't know, just even moments to show like these things are parallel in some ways.
Why not?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. And then they all unite in the one last one. That's when they go to fight Doom.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow! And Howard the Duck comes out of a portal and
the big battle of the BCU.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Would I be seated for that? Make 5 movies of that.
Yeah, 2033.
I need 4 Doom movies, one for each letter of his name.
Each letter. Back-to-back O's, that stretch. Wow.
But I think it's a good. After seeing the prosthetics and knowing at their core the talent that these 4 actors have, I think it's got a lot of potential. The cinematographer, same guy who did the first 2 Dunes, same guy who did the Batman.
Yep.
So a lot of good people.
Clearly care about this and are putting a lot of effort into making sure this is a thing, especially because they've people that have declined other projects to come work on this.
That was it. I mean, what is it? Matt Frazier, who was doing the Batman Part 2, and he was also doing Dune Messiah, and then he left both for the Beatles. So I'm like,
okay.
At a certain point, it's like I understand if this guy say he grew up as a lifelong Beatles fan and he sees this as like a passion project, go for it. But
either way, it's still same effect.
I mean, it could be, if it's a bad Beatles movie, I can't imagine that's something you'd want to be a part of just because it's the Beatles. You know what I'm saying? So, something to think about.
It is something to think about.
We'll see.
It is something to think about. You know what else is something to think about? And I think I've made my mind about it already.
Oh?
Have you seen this press tour from Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie for Wuthering Heights?
I have.
Where are you at with this? Because I'll tell you what, man, this is... I can't imagine being the husband of Margot Robbie right now.
Gosh. This is like torture treatment.
Like, I think I'd take the 50 years in prison over this.
This is like the Tom Holland with Zendaya thing when she was getting tossed around in that tennis movie.
This is worse, I think.
A little bit.
Because I think, at least then, at the end of the day, Zendaya kept the distinction. The whole marketing is just so intensely, and clearly it's just for the marketing, obviously.
Yeah.
So I understand that there's like a level to that, but I still don't know if I'd be able to handle that.
I want to touch more on that. I want to touch more on the marketing
outwardly,
thing.
Like, They're doing too much.
Yes.
They're doing way too much.
You're exactly
right.
I
understand trying to pump something up. You and I know that better than anybody, like, freaking out about whatever, right?
The Masters.
But they're doing way too much.
Yeah.
I can't.
This has happened a couple times recently. With Wuthering Heights, we have with Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. We had the one with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell.
Yes.
Where it's like
anyone but you.
These actors go on these press tours. You could even do the one with Regretting You with McKenna Grace and Mason Thames. However, they were together.
Yes.
So it's different.
Yes.
But there's these things now where it's like with these romantic movies, the actors, like, part of their performance extends through the press junket, where it's like they're not just like doing interviews. They're putting on this thing as if their romance carried into their personal lives. And it kind of just weirds me out a little bit. There was like a story that Margot Robbie said in an interview where she was like, when I was filming Wuthering Heights, I became codependent on Jacob Elordi, and when he wasn't on the set, I would get these like shakes and tremors, and I was like, I'm like, what are we talking about, dude? And I, like you said, I just imagine like her husband like doom scrolling on Instagram, like on the toilet one morning, and just seeing like shakes and tremors. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know, she's just in the other room reading a book or something. I just like, you know what I'm saying?
Get in here, babe. Like, what the heck is this?
There's levels to this business that we discuss that I don't think you and I, fortunately, will ever understand. But I feel like at a certain point, I feel like, where is it just you're doing too much? You know what I'm saying? Like, can't the movie just speak for itself? Like, it's Jacob Elordi, arguably one of the hot in the sense of like up and coming, like rising stars in Hollywood from like the male corner of the whole thing. One of the hotter male figures right now, and then you got Margot Robbie, who's just. She is who she is. I mean, she's been at the top since she was in Wolf of Wall Street. So it's like, at what point do you just be like, all right, we have two stars here, one in the making and one already established, and we've got an adaptation of one of the more iconic sensual books out there. We're just going to let that speak for itself.
I think
but you got to drag it, and you got to have them like holding hands on the red carpet. It's like you're doing too much.
Yes, you are. You're making it too distracting in the other way now.
That's what I'm saying.
I love when actors take their character and they run with it.
100%.
And I would point to exactly Timothée Chalamet recently with Marty Supreme.
That was funny.
Absolutely loved what he did on his press tour. Yes, but you could see the moments where he would go in and out of character, kind of.
Yes.
To then be himself for what needed to be the case.
Yes.
There's a level where they've reached now where it's beyond a point that now I feel like when I remember this movie, I'm going to remember me hating the press tour. And to relate that, recently on Wicked for Good, now all I can remember from that is everything that went on with the press tour from that.
Dude.
Correct?
With and like Revo and Grande?
And a lot of people at the time said, see, this is great for publicity, it's great. And I go, for the moment, the second it ends, I don't know, man. It's just completely tilted. And you're so right. The Glenn Powell thing is perfect because that whole press tour, I remember everyone was like, "Are they secretly dating? Is this what's going on?"
And they were really, to be fair, they were really selling it. Like,
they were.
I thought they were.
They were. And
it's Hollywood. I'm
makes
sure
a lot more sense though. I'm sure they were. You're not married.
Yes. That's it. It's also the added dimension of Margot Robbie's Taken.
And some of the things she's saying, I'm not even trying to be that guy. Like, you and I try to be pretty filtered with what we can't read out what she's saying, some of these things, because they're so dramatic in terms of the way she feels about Jacob Elordi.
Yes, and he's like, Margot Robbie's a force. I don't know what life looks like without her now that this
when you get a chance to be in a movie with just this absolute, what do you do? You have to be in this movie. And Margot's like, oh my gosh, yeah, the second they said cut, we were just staring at each other, eyes locked. We couldn't even take ourselves out of the character. We were just that madly in love.
I know. I got my hand in his back pocket right now, actually.
But that's not even us exaggerating.
No, dude,
this is just what's being said.
That's honestly more tame than a lot of the things that they were saying.
It's hilarious. It really is.
It's really something
because
else.
Again, you talk about they do all these what do they call them? Like the coordinator for like intimate stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the intimacy coordinator.
Oh, okay, it's just that. It's just that. Yeah.
What do you call?
What do you call it? Yeah. Oh, the thing you just called it. Yeah. No, but the intimacy coordinator, right? You have all these things in place to make these things feel like when you're in the job, you're in the job. The second you finish that job, you're out of it.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. It's like, cut.
What are you, stupid?
Oh, Jacob. Oh my gosh, Jacob. Let's do a little role play. I'll be Margot, you be Jacob.
Okay. All right. Hold on.
Sam.
You need me to turn around so you can get into my back pocket?
Yeah, Sam. Just love those quads, man.
Wow, dude.
Second this podcast ends, dude, I can't even do anything but stare at those quads.
I got some sexy satin shorts I can hop into if you...
Okay, I'm done. All right.
That's more than enough.
All right. That was nice.
That was but a taste of the dynamic off camera that we have.
Yes, that is.
That was just once these cameras stop. That's when it really.
People have no idea.
Oh my gosh!
You ever see those videos of people saying like you really have no idea what people do inside their houses?
That's it.
You really have no idea.
Yeah, absolutely no clue.
I'll tell you what.
Absolutely no clue, dude.
We're gonna start some allegations. Anyway, let's.
Wow.
What's next?
That was fun.
What's next? That was fun. That was great.
Episode 35. We role played like Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. Just.
You won't believe.
You won't believe. You won't believe Sam's shorts. Wow. Well, that's
Is it Wonder Man time, or do you want to touch on anything else? Wait. Actually, I have one thing just for you.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about this long because you and I beat this to death.
All right.
But I just wanted to read this out to you because I thought this was perfectly timed. Because
is this
again,
a quote or is this a story or what do we got?
It's just a little rumor I saw. So this is not official. Okay.
Stir the rumor
this is not news. It's
Okay.
It's not something official. But I saw this.
Got this. Do you ever have a tag on the back of your shirt that won't go away?
It itches you, man. And
I feel like at a certain point I should just leave it out. I feel like I should just let it rub up on the back of my neck and I should just leave it out. Yeah.
Back to the news.
Okay.
Jeff Snyder,
in
parentheses, who broke the story of Christina Hodson writing Batman.
Oh my god.
Hints that James Gunn actually might be the one directing the movie.
Directing Brave and the Bold?
Brave and the Bold.
Okay.
Anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you.
Right.
So.
All right. Okay.
So you know how we talked about this separate. Oh, those projects you thought that he wasn't doing? Oh, they're not coming out anymore. They're actually on hold. They're probably not going to come out. We're not even going to give you a trailer. But you know that other one, the Batman, the big one. Oh, James got that. We're all good here.
Can I say something? This is
Sam Raimi. No. This other guy. No.
By the way, actually, side note, Sam Raimi, he was like, yeah, if DC ever wants me for a project, I'll happily do it. Give Sam Raimi the Swamp Thing right now. By the way, give him the Swamp Thing, now. Like, what? Sam Raimi wants to direct a DC project, and Swamp Thing is on the slate, and you're looking for a director? Give him Swamp Thing.
I don't get why they don't, outline these things more. No?
It's James Gunn. Can I just be totally unfiltered? Because I'm losing it right now.
Yeah.
James Gunn directing Batman, the Brave and the Bold is a complete act of malpractice. It is literally the worst thing you could buy. You know what? I'd rather Andy Machete. James Gunn has proven to me that he can direct a comic book movie with levity. Mm-hmm. But the only character that demands there be no levity is Batman.
Yeah.
No. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Find somebody else. Set yourself aside. Because his whole thing is, we just can't find the way in. Maybe it's because you're a funny guy trying to write a movie for a serious one. Mm-hmm. Get out of the picture.
What do you think Batman with James Gunn looks like? What do you think he's going to do?
Let me start this out.
One line.
I think he's got the light gray suit with the light blue from the 80s or the 70s. Okay. I think he's got the gray and blue suit with the yellow logo and the yellow belt.
Okay.
And I think he's got
he's gonna have trousers outside.
Dude. He's got the blue.
He's gonna have your shorts.
He's got my red Snoopy satin shorts on the outside. I think he's got the Scooby-Doo meets Batman and Robin style tool belt with the Scooby snacks in the belt. Remember? Have you ever seen that? Where Scooby-Doo meets Batman and Robin, and they're chasing Joker and Penguin, and Scooby-Doo gets nervous, and so Batman opens his belt and takes out a Scooby snack, and he pops him a Scooby snack, and it gets the job done. That would be James Gunn's Batman. Just Scooby snacks at the whim. That's James Gunn's Batman.
That's perfect.
James Gunn's Batman. Batman Brave and the Bold. Breaking. Jeff Snyder reports that Batman Brave and the Bold has been renamed Scooby-Doo meets Batman and Robin. The villain is Condiment King, and Sam just killed himself. Also, the funeral will be held for Sam next Tuesday.
That's so funny.
I'm ill, dude.
Do you know what I can't wait for, man?
What's that?
You and I are gonna hopefully soon. I think in the next, I don't know, month, we should officially be having our chat with Parking Lot Takes, right?
Yes, we're doing it in February or March.
Yeah, so we're kind of ironing out exactly the date.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna be away for a little bit, so that's why we're trying to figure that out partly too. But they are. I don't want to speak for them early. I think they're pro.
The pro James Gunn.
Pro James Gunn verse right now.
Yes, yeah. Right now though.
Right now. So I don't know where they're at now. I mean, I haven't seen them talk about it in a little bit, but
we're about to find out.
I can't wait. That would be really funny. We should do the thumbnail if we do end up. I want them to get like hot about it. I would love that. Yeah. It's like we should do like a tag team match style thumbnail where it's like you and I like this, and then them on the other
Street
side.
Fighter type thing, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh man, now you're talking. James Gunn's battered head is just in the middle of the thumbnail.
I was fighting over,
just holding a Scooby snack over his face. All right, so the time has come. The time has come. I don't think you or I, neither of us, thought that we'd be devoting any time on the podcast to this.
No.
I think we both just decided, you know what? It's a new Marvel thing. We'll check it out. Mm-hmm. We're going to discuss Wonder Man for a couple minutes.
Yeah, do we want to get in with a rating?
I do.
Right
I actually do.
Top?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a flat, even rating. No point, no point, nothing.
Okay,
just
I have a
flat
point.
number.
I have a point.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Our rating, Season 1 of Wonder Man, 3, 2, 1.
9.
8.5.
Dude, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a good show.
Yep,
I'm
really so good.
Happy with it. Mm-hmm. Can I say I don't think I've ever wanted to see a character follow up an Avenger. Maybe Shang-Chi. I've never seen a solo project introduce a character and walk out of it thinking to myself, I need this character in an Avengers movie with all the other people now. Mm-hmm. I need them right now.
I felt the same thing.
Oh my god,
felt the same thing.
He's so good. Mm-hmm. I love everything about this show.
I love watching a thing about a guy acting and not being able to make it as an actor while you're watching him and you're like, this guy's playing this role phenomenally.
Yes,
you know
dude.
What I'm saying?
Well, that was what was so cool about it. Is
so sick.
It was the whole dynamic of it was almost like a meta fourth wall type breaking situation where the whole plot revolves around, like you said, a struggling actors with, when they introduced Ben Kingsley's character again, Trevor, who we've seen in past Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm. Iron Man 3.
Yes, right. And Shang-Chi. But you have this whole dynamic where these actors are struggling to make it in Hollywood and they can't get their dream role.
Yep.
And so there's these interesting things where it's like on top of the acting the actors are doing in the thing, you see these scenes where the actors are playing characters that are auditioning for roles, and you see them auditioning in the movie and putting on a different face in the movie. So it's like actors acting.
They're doubly. They have to do two things.
Yes. It's actors acting as actors, and it's so it's so good, and all of the performances are so multi-layered, and
because they have to flip. They flip from acting as this character that they are to acting a different character as that character.
It was
it's so interesting.
Oh man,
it's so interesting.
And can I say it totally redeemed Trevor Slattery for me. I am in the camp of people who were utterly devastated when the Mandarin was a fake out in Iron Man 3. I've never forgiven Marvel for it. I was so crushed because in my head I'm watching those terrorist videos, the propaganda that the Mandarin is posting in the third one, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, if this guy
it's awesome to start.
Yes, I'm thinking to myself, if this guy's legit, this is one
of the worst reveals.
This is like Marvel's answer to some of the Chris Nolan Batman villains that we've gotten, and then he just kind of turns out to be a drunken schmo. Yeah. And I was so bummed out. And then they leaned into the drunken schmo in Shang-Chi. And because Marvel was still in their, everything needs to be a joke type phase. And I just remember being so bummed out with his character because you could have made it a situation where it's maybe he's not the Mandarin, but he's a struggling actor, and the desperation pushed him to a point where playing a terrorist is the only way he could make a buck. There's such an interesting angle there, and they don't take it for the first couple projects he's in, but they take it here, and it's so good. And Ben Kingsley is just spectacular, and I loved this show. Yeah. I love the performances. I love the direction. Gosh, dude, it was so good. I wish, honestly, they released it week to week because I would have loved to have spent 2 months with these characters.
It's interesting you say that. I'm actually glad they didn't for this.
Okay.
Because I think I wouldn't have cared enough at the beginning to do it.
Yeah, but dude, imagine the slow rollout and realizing, holy crap, this is freaking awesome.
I agree with what you're saying. If I knew how good it was going to be, yes.
Yeah.
But I think if I had just seen it, Echo and the last couple things that came out. Honestly, watching the first episode, was it good? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's still something to it where I'm like, do I really want to sit through all of this?
Sure.
And I don't know if I would have.
No.
Just waiting on it and thinking, oh, next week, am I really going to remember it this time? I need to sit there.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not trying to say it wasn't good enough to do that. It definitely was. But yeah, I think one of my favorite things from Wonder Man was definitely the way they utilized the Marvel Universe in a way we haven't seen before, because we're so used to it always being these ultra uber crazy situations involving these heroes that are just so dramatic. We almost never get to see the civilian side of it, kind of where you're just focused on a guy, just regular day-to-day life. What does it actually look like? And how, even though it feels like there's all these crazy things going on in this universe, there actually is a simpler side of it that, like, his power was just a total secondary thing. It's just him trying to get by. And it was just so cool to see that.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, we've yet to really have a project like this where the Marvel Universe really gets explored in that way at all, you know?
Yes.
Like, on a street level, but what I really mean by that is, like, day-to-day common folk to say.
Well, it's always been so interesting because the MCU has always presented its heroes like it was grounded in enough reality where it felt relatable and human, but also like there were fantastical elements like Asgard and Doctor Strange, where it's like it takes you into a different place. But you it's never occurred to me that maybe there are like, and this is such a good lead into like the mutant saga, where it's like there are people out there with powers that could alter the world. And they're just in hiding because they're terrified. Like, that's such an interesting thing to consider. It's just nice to depart from New York for once and just be in a different area of this world. And, dude, I mean, again, we're suckers for movies, the movie industry, and the whole process. And so I think to see that in a project like this, we can't relate to a lot of it, but, like, it just was so interesting to watch. And, yeah, like you said, just the whole dynamic of, like, everything about Wonder Man, you know, with him growing up feeling kind of slighted by his brother and that whole dynamic of, like, the competitive stuff, but then the brother humbling himself at the end. And it just was so freaking... By the way, spoilers throughout the entire thing. We're about to be talking just spoilers.
Yes, yeah.
But, yeah, it just so ridiculously good. The dynamic between him and Trevor, how that evolved and then kind of went on the down low, and then, you know, at the end, him saving him
redemption from both sides.
Damage control. And I loved that. I loved that we, you know... DC, when they had like the Snyderverse, did a lot of it. Is like, what is the government's approach to heroes? You know, as like the universe grows, and Marvel taking the angle of like, yes, there's like the established Avengers, yes, there's the new Avengers, and there's this and that. However, you know, we got to keep this moderated to some extent, you know, and you see a little bit of it with like Captain America, Brave New World, where it's like the president is trying to moderate it, but you see that he's got like these like personal agendas behind it. So that gets corrupted. And then you see like Damage Control being after it, but it's like more from the angle of like Hollywood actors are not supposed to be superpowered individuals, and I love seeing like the world respond to heroes. Again, like you said, that angle of like what is like the average person's perspective of this world? What is their angle? It's great. I loved it.
It's so good.
A ton.
I thought the humor in it too was great.
It's great, dude.
With it being very self-aware and also industry-wide aware, not just Marvel.
Yes.
The use of name drops of Pierce Brosnan to Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, I just got to roll in the next season of Severance and all that. Yeah.
It was really funny how they did that. And I loved the way there was a lot of doubles in the way that they talked about something, but really like it's kind of a metaphor for how they're trying to talk about the way we perceive Marvel, but also just the film industry.
Yeah,
it was really good. I just thought that was really brilliant. They haven't done that much, and to your point of the humor shift, it didn't rely on that usual kind of quippy little like punches there. It was very just, you got the humor by investing in the show, and I thought that was great. They the one thing I was going to ask that I thought was funny is, how do you think they go about a show like this? Do they have to ask permission to use these people's names?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm
because
sure. I didn't watch the credits, but I'm sure there's a lot of a lot of references.
Right.
In there.
Yeah. Remind me of the person that they do this for. There's somebody that they mention. Oh, and he's the one that does the bat thing or something, where it was like he had the pigeons. You remember what I'm talking about? They use an actor's name and they're like, whatever happened with him and those pigeons.
Oh yeah,
know?
Dude. Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but anyway, you get the point. It was just funny to me because it's not just
it wasn't Matthew McConaughey. That was another reference.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Dude.
Which is so funny.
Such a funny pull.
So funny.
Yeah.
But the I don't know, the scale of everybody that they brought in, it wasn't like one little thing. It was just everything. But it made it feel so complete.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like just a regular show. And I just loved so much that it didn't feel like Marvel.
Right.
And it was just a thing where he has powers. The only worry I had with it was you gotta really, like, I feel like you and I, it's our job to promote to people that they need to watch this. Because I feel like naturally people aren't going to want to just sit through all 8 episodes, but it's worth it. And it's different. You've got to trust that. You know what I mean?
So you're saying, like, what would you say to somebody who's hesitant to get into
it? Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel like it's not geared for the natural Marvel fan.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Not. I think it's interesting though, and I absolutely, if you're a Marvel fan, if you're not, I would recommend this to anybody. I think Marvel has suffered in recent. This is how I would describe Wonder Man to anybody who's curious about getting into the show.
Yep.
And checking it out. For so long, Marvel has struggled because they've been trying to build out this universe, and it's become so commercialized to where it's like. It's almost as if the perception is that for whatever reason, people are only going to be drawn to these movies because they want to see like the action, they want to see the superpowers, they want to see the spectacle, and so it's like there's so many Marvel projects up to this point that have become pigeonholed in this mindset, in this creative mindset of how do we focus on these superpowers that are how do we show off these superpowers and integrate these superpowers and these superpowered people into this universe, but also remember that there's a character story that we have to tell behind this. And I think Wonder Man succeeds because it's a character-focused story, and he just happens to have superpowers.
He doesn't even use them or really need them.
No, it's when he does, it's accidental.
Yes.
And I think that the reason Wonder Man succeeds is because for the first time in a long time, with the exception of Thunderbolts, I think that Marvel has decided to tell a character story first, and the superpowers are like a bonus.
Yep.
Rather than focusing on how flashy the superpowers are and how they define the character, and then remembering that somewhere in there you have to make us care about the character too. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it succeeds.
Yeah.
So that would be my pitch. I would say just watch it because it's a great character-driven story. It's just a great TV show that happens to be under the Marvel umbrella.
Yep.
It's not a Marvel show that happens to be a good TV show. It's the opposite.
Based on exactly what you were just saying, I felt the same way around episode 5 or 6, I think it is. They have him go to do the bike scene where he has to go get it. And the one guy is like, I've seen what powers you have. I need you to go use them. That was the point in my mind where I was like, okay, here we go. We're trying to get into like the superhero aspect. And honestly, I was so glad that they didn't. Mm-hmm. I was so glad that they didn't. And even that scene was shocking to me too, where they have the police outside. 3, 2, 1, and then you actually hear the gun go off, and you're like, whoa. And then he runs out, and you're like, okay.
Just a great
show. This is just like a thriller kind of style, where you're like, okay, this is something different.
He's just a guy.
Really cool.
Yeah. He's just a guy that happens to have
He doesn't even want to touch them. He doesn't want to use them. It's not like he has to battle against this or that. It's really just, he wants to act.
It's so
interesting.
Wants to act.
I love the way they do it, where his mind, and I don't want to like put a label on him. He's got almost this like tick in his head where he's so addicted to the craft of wanting to embody this role that he's got these visions that it doesn't matter what they want him to do. He's just got an idea, and it's better. It's better. He's just so invested into what this is that it was just really cool for you and I, as guys who both love movies and love watching it, who sit here and talk about how much we love the craft. It was honestly really cool and just refreshing to see them put out basically how I feel, almost. It's not in terms of, for me, acting, but it's a way of how I view stuff that I was like, yes, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It's great.
Great, dude. I think that's, honestly, like, not many people are going to have seen it by now, so I would say go out and see Wonder Man. It's great.
Go see it.
Watch Wonder Man.
Go watch it.
But yeah.
What do you think of the ending?
I thought it was good. I thought
with him going to...
it felt like it was leading into something else, which made me so happy because I was so nervous that they were
going to grab it.
I was so nervous that they were going to make it feel conclusive, like we might never see the character again, and I didn't get that vibe from the ending.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I would love to see him in future stuff.
Yeah,
he's great, awesome, great actor, great character, awesome, just perfect, dude.
Good,
I loved it.
Good.
There we go.
Dude. I'm glad.
All right.
Well, dude, I have one thing I prepared for you for the end of this episode. I just wanted to try this out. So this was inspired a little bit.
Okay.
There's a baseball game I play every day. It's on, you can look it up on Google or whatever. It's called Immaculate Grid.
Okay.
So basically, you put it in. So it'd be like if it was Blue Jays, Yankees, and it would be like a 3x3 grid. You try and find somebody that lines up. So it could be like Marcus Stroman, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you like line it up. So I created my own for you, based on like kind of things like it should be movies that you know very well. There's only one thing that doesn't quite fit exactly into like things that are your favorites.
Okay.
And there's another one where you're gonna have to think a little bit because it's not directly the thing that it says. It's really close. So anyway, just I wanted to put that out.
Sure.
But here we go.
Okay.
So I have titled it The Casting Grid.
Okay.
So I want to send this picture out to the people.
Yeah, I'll put this up in the clip.
Yeah, because I have it on the doc. So we have it up. So there, for the most part, there's one response that you can do for each one of these, but it is there's a couple that have multiple things that you could do in theory. But again, it's all things that you should know, okay? But so for the people, casting grid, it's like a 3x3, the Spotify listeners listening. On the top, we have Tom Cruise, Tom Holland, and Walton Goggins. And then going down the other side, it's Jamie Foxx, the year 2018, and then projects starting with F. So it kind of lines up. So, like, for instance, you're going to have a project starting with F. That's Tom Cruise, Tom Holland, and Walton Goggins. Jamie Foxx has been with all three of those guys in something. You see what I'm saying?
Gosh, okay.
So you got to think a little bit. If this is too tough, I have the way I have it right now is that you get 10 guesses. So you can miss one thing. But again, remember that these are all things that you should know. Like not necessarily you definitely know, but like projects you know of. You know what I'm trying to say?
Interesting.
So you've definitely watched the movies that they've been in. I'm keeping my
Okay, so
feedback.
for this I'm going to say I'm going to get some of the easier ones out of the way that
Go ahead.
think. Okay, so for Tom, I wish I had a pen here. Hold on.
Yeah. I intentionally tried to make this a little difficult.
No, I
didn't
appreciate
want it
it.
to just be something that you were immediately like bumming through. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so Tom Holland and Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
Right at the top, I'm going to say, is that No Way Home?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Right off the rip.
Okay. Okay, so Tom Holland and...
Again, this is what I'm talking about. The projects that start with F is a little fudged. No pun intended with the F. But
I have an interesting question.
Okay, go ahead.
Are Goggins and Cruise with the project starting with F, are they both Fallout? Because Mission Impossible Fallout?
You could do that, yeah.
But that's not what you were thinking.
No, that's perfect. I don't know why I thought you meant Fallout the other way. Yeah, there is, because you said that, there's another thing that kind of fits that as well.
Okay.
So you can do Fallout there for sure. But what's the Tom Cruise 2018 one?
Would that be Fallout?
Yeah.
Oh, it would be, okay.
Yeah. There's one other one. This is the last one I said that was kind of a fudge.
Okay.
That I was going on, so you could have it different.
Okay.
There's another movie he's done that has the and then. But you and I often refer to it. We covered it on this podcast.
That Tom Cruise has been in.
Mm-hmm.
In 2018?
Yeah, or no, it starts with an F. We've talked about it. It's kind of similar. Where like there's a word in front of it technically in the title, but you refer to it as with an F starting it. So that's interesting.
This is interesting.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's start with do you know the Jamie Foxx Tom Cruise one? There's one singular movie that they were in together. It was actually like the only movie of Tom Cruise's career where it's flipped.
Was it?
Have
was
you
flipped?
seen this? Yeah. He's a villain.
It's not. Was Jamie Foxx in Tropic Thunder?
No.
He wasn't.
Mm-mm. Have you seen this movie? You might not have seen this.
He plays a villain.
Mm-hmm. Tom Cruise plays a villain. We can skip if that's weird.
I'm stuck on Goggins and Jamie Foxx.
Dude, this is...
Oh, would that be Django?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
Django and
Yep, there you go.
Django.
Bang.
All right.
Huge. Okay.
2018. I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was 2019.
Yep.
So that wouldn't be Goggins for that one.
He was in a movie that I notoriously hate.
Would it be Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Good
okay,
pull.
so
Good pull.
Ant-Man.
He was the only one that had he had 3 movies in 2018. He was also in Maze Runner and Tomb Raider. Well,
no kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. Wow.
Interesting, right?
Okay. Huh.
Tom Holland 2018 you should be able to get.
Was that Infinity War?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, we're making
and you can get the Tom Holland F1. Again, think about
Tom Holland F1.
You're in the same domain. Don't say it like the way you're saying it, if you know what I'm saying. It's a movie with a colon. You know what I'm trying to say? You know how they do like a blank?
Oh, so it's like the subtitle almost.
Kind of. But it's the title you refer to it as.
Far From Home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Good stuff.
Okay.
So you got 2 more. And you're technically correct about that being Fallout, but the way the game works is usually you can't repeat.
Right, yeah, no, I won't.
So I had like a specific one in mind. We just talked about it recently.
We did?
Yes.
Like how recently?
We've name dropped it in the last 4 weeks on this podcast.
This is the Tom Cruise.
I think
Jamie
I'm throwing
Foxx
you because of the instruction. This was a kind of a workshop thing. So
I love this. I love the idea of this. This is tricky.
So I'll try and figure it out.
No, dude, you got
know
it.
This movie. I feel like it's throwing you because the title's got another. It's not a colon one, but it's like it's got the in front of it. Does that change anything for you?
I really want to get this.
But you don't usually refer to it as the. It's just blank blank.
Oh, I'm still thinking about this. Oh, Final Reckoning. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so the Tom Cruise and the project starting with F would be Final Reckoning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You know what's crazy about this? When I designed
I don't know why that didn't even pop into my head.
I designed this dude, and I had thought to myself, it's Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
You know it's technically the Final Reckoning?
Is it really?
Yeah, which I know it sounds stupid, but I've just always called it Final Reckoning.
Yeah,
but anyway, so I was like, oh, it's an F1, but then I was like, shoot, is that gonna throw you?
And now Cruise and Jamie Foxx.
Yes. I don't know if you've seen this one.
I don't want to ask for a hint. Or
yeah,
anything.
do you want me to give you a hint? The movie came out, I think, in 2004. It could be referred to if you almost when you're playing Warzone, if you hit 2 people in a row. Like if you shot a bullet and it hit 3 people in one.
Collateral?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, dude, I haven't thought about that movie in a while.
Yeah.
Collateral.
Yeah. Anyway, so you got that.
Wow, dude. I don't even... Is it ERAL? Wow. Dude, that's sick.
Yeah, I don't know how well that'll translate to audio.
No,
hey, you can I don't know.
For the video people. Yeah. Hop on
if you're
over.
a Spotify person, I mean,
dude,
that.
I know. Jonah screwed. Dude, that was a really good game. I want to keep doing that.
Yeah,
Darn it. I'm bummed that we have to cut it off here.
I know, yeah.
Wow. Oh, that was a fun game, dude. Thank you for putting that together.
No, yeah,
I feel like I'm a total... I just exposed myself.
No, you didn't expose yourself.
Wow.
You know what I think? It's weird to have to,
what got me was trying to think of, for example, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
Yes.
I was thinking, all right, well, surely it's not that because M.
Yes,
yeah,
I know. And I knew that was going to be a problem with Spider-Man Far From Home.
But that's tricky. It adds a layer to it.
Dude,
that's interesting.
Making this was really hard, actually, in a way,
sure.
because I kept inserting different people, but it's tough because you have to find something that fits everybody.
Yeah.
And I pretty much set these 3 as my top, and then I was going to try to readjust after.
Oh,
but I didn't want it to just be, it's tough if you make it something where it's some random project neither of us have seen. It's all right.
Dude, that's sick.
But yeah, so we'll have to
sick,
do that
dude.
again.
Thank you for doing that. That was cool.
Yeah.
I kind of want to...
You did good.
I look-y want to do that next week, too.
Really?
Because we're going to be talking about Fallout next week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to have another just TV episode.
Yeah.
We might as well talk, right?
Yeah. That sounds good.
What do you think? Any? I feel like it feels weird cutting. We've been doing so many long episodes.
Dude, I know we've been doing so many ages long. And this is good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a little palate cleanser for the people.
Saying,
you know, they've been getting too much of us. They don't want to. Well, ease it back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Make them want more. Make them want more.
Yeah, of course.
So that's good.
Wow.
I don't got much to say. Yeah.
Feeling good?
Yeah, feel good. Feel good.
All right.
There
you go. Next week we got the big Fallout conclusion. We got we got Wuthering Heights coming up. We got we'll be seated front row IMAX 3D glasses.
Perfect, dude. Perfect.
Hands in the back pocket. Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
But as always, As always, keep thinking about Sam's quads after this episode.